So far, I think it's pretty safe to rule out trapping the queen. Excuse me. For example, like queen c4, king h8, b4, queen a3, at the very least. They also have queen c7. I mean, queen d8. I mean, that might not be terrible, actually. Maybe something like queen c4 check. And then b4. I don't know. It all just doesn't seem right. I was thinking queen d8, then e6 could make sense. But at the very least, there should be some way out. So still trying to hone in on what's important in this position. Martin, welcome. No, you're not the only person. But I am dual streaming, so some people are on Twitch. Even though, yeah, it's a mix between Twitch and YouTube. But I did just start, so it's not a lot of people right now. Not yet. Welcome, and feel free to suggest ideas if you have any. I'm not too picky about that. In the end, I'm always going to play whatever I think, but I'm glad to hear what you guys are thinking at the same time. I'm trying to figure out what's like the most forcing line. I'm still not sure, because like if I play this, they could block it. I don't think they would play rook f7, but like they could. But they have two different king moves. And maybe if I'm cool with both of these king moves, I have something spectacular coming up, but I don't see what it is. So there's that. Bishop d5, similar deal. I'm not sure what the amazing justification for bishop d5 is. Rook d7 seems pretty blasé. Not really great. E6 is interesting, but I don't see the consequences. Welcome, Schnaggenspiel. On Twitch. E6 seems to be the most interesting thing so far, but I'm not even confident it's the first move. I'm looking for some more auxiliary ideas that might help. For instance, if I just play e6, knight b6, which stops queen c4 and bishop d5, e7, rook e8. The pawn on e7 is hanging. I also haven't even considered them counterattacking, where like they attack the knight and they just play something like queen b4 attacking the hanging rook. So I'm not even sure it's a forced line. I don't really have... Actually, maybe I do have something like this. Rook d8. I was thinking maybe not, because they could take twice on d8, but with the knight, this choice of knight move blocks the queen. So I could do that, but then I think bishop d7 protects the rook just fine with the rook on a8. And the knight is guarding it, so I can't just play rook takes d7. I don't think so. There could be something like rook d5 maybe. But again, I don't see why they can't just, back that up. Maybe even just take on a2. I've been kind of thinking about ideas with like the sacrifice, but so far nothing. I could also maybe take this at some point. The caveat here is if I take, they can take the rook on h1, and that doesn't seem very useful. If I had to guess, I would probably just guess e6, but it really is a guess. I haven't seriously considered taking this pawn. Maybe I want to do something like this. and then just snag that pawn at the end. But I imagine that black has counterplay after like queen takes a2. I don't think it's like a straightforward winning of a pawn or something like that. Maybe there is like an idea to play queen e6 check, but yeah, maybe I take queen e6 check, queen takes, rook takes. No, actually, because the bishop is guarding it in that line, so it's not there. Yeah, the puzzle might be above my pay grade too, but gotta rise to the occasion. Rise up, solve the problems. Even if you suggest some stuff, you know, maybe it'll provoke a discussion that makes sense. Chess Poems, welcome. Hope your stream's going well. I do think that it's kind of a different ball game once you pass 2500 or like 2550 or something, because I think the 2400 level puzzles, they're often like just a sneaky one move thing sometimes, but I've noticed that as my rating has gone between like 2500 and 2700, that the puzzles in this range are like insane. Sometimes they just have crazy justification in the background. I mean, maybe I did Schnagenspiel. I might have. I'm ad-libbing. I'm always ad-libbing. In fact, even for my recorded lessons, I don't really script anything ahead of time. I do it all in one take. And it probably shows, but you know what? I'll start animating things and doing it in a really nice way once there's a lot of interest. I didn't know you could gain rating from losing a puzzle on chess.com. I know that some of the puzzles there that are like 3300 are easier than these, because I used to use chess.com sometimes. That is a crazy thing to happen, that you lose a puzzle and gain rating. Here on Live Chess, sometimes I get it wrong, and they're just like, you know what, we totally get that. And they just give me like an X, like nothing happens. I'm like, oh, okay. Not even gonna take 1 point from me? Alright. In fact, now that I think of it, have I ever even lost 1 point? I don't know if I've lost a single point, like, at any point in recent memory. Believe it or not, I'm still thinking about this. I feel like I'm just gonna guess, though. Really. You base your entire life on your ability to do chess puzzles, Schnagenspiel? I mean, there are worse addictions. Alright, let's say I throw, Alright, maybe here's a useful way to think. Why am I playing e6 and not queen c4? Why not queen c4 and then e6? Well, the reason I was thinking is that if I do this, and I do this, and then e6, when they do this, they hit the queen. And that didn't seem good to me. Like, I don't think I really want to sack the rook for this one. There's probably something like very painfully obvious in sight. It's just lurking there, mocking me. Yeah, Schnagenspiel, I agree. If you actually did link any aspect of your self-worth to chess, it would be a painful existence. Humans are just inherently bad at chess, and luckily that makes it game-worthy. But other than that, yeah, it's kind of miserable. All right, what are we doing here? I wonder if it's something that I haven't considered yet. I think I've been going in circles a little bit. Maybe it's just a move that threatens to win this knight, because there's like I could take the knight and then take the bishop and then I'd be better, right? I think. Wait, no, I'm a piece down. That's important. Okay, this actually narrows my search considerably, because even if I play e6, they could just give up a piece and not be much worse off. as a result. So I think it's not e6 on the basis that I'm already down a piece and e6 is only threatening to win a piece. So I think I need to do something more interesting like bishop d5 or queen c4. Queen c4 seems pretty reasonable. So if I had to just guess a first move, it would probably be that. Little quote here for the people on Twitch who get that command. There you go. In the midst of chaos, there is also opportunity. Well, queen c4, maybe not so appealing because of knight b6 tempo things. Maybe I'll focus on bishop d5. Let's say they just move their king, like king h8, whatever. Where's the win? Like, there should be a win here somewhere. Yes, bishop d5. I don't remember the last time I was like 2000 on chess.com because I haven't played there in a long time, but I imagine that you should be able to get there with just continuous practice, maybe even with just like doing whatever your daily allotment is, because I know that chess.com charges you to do more puzzles, right? Okay, I'm really not grasping what is going on here. So probably I should just move on with my life, you know, like accept that I don't know the answer and make a wild guess. Since I'm only down a minor piece, e6 might not be like the end of the world. It might be reasonable. Alright, I'm just looking for some way that I can narrow down my first move at this point because I'm just really unsure. So let's say I wanted to do this. Do I care about forfeiting the option to play b4? They could play, they can only play queen a3, but it's check, and after king b1, it doesn't really look so bad, like king b1, knight b6 or something. Okay, so I don't think playing b4 is that good. So I think queen c4, I don't need to play it for that reason. Since I'm down a piece, I don't think it makes sense to really think about queen takes e3, just giving them the move. Rook takes d7 doesn't look right at all. Like, I don't see why that would be it. Some improving move like this seems slow. This check, I don't see what I'm gonna do. I was thinking something like this maybe, or something like that. But there's just no access to the weaknesses. This position just looks lost, seriously. So I'm gonna play e6. Alright, I only lost 2 rating points, so kind of spoke that into reality. I had just mentioned how I've only ever lost 1 point sometime in deep antiquity, so got pretty close with this puzzle. Schnogginsfield, what do you mean by there isn't an immediate piece eval? Alright, maybe it's this. Okay, no. Maybe it's this. Alright, so it was bishop d5. At least I spotted the move. But what's the point? To play e6 next move? I highly doubt it. Yeah, so it's not that. So at least I was right about that. Maybe it's queen h5 with the idea of queen g6. But even queen g6 doesn't look like it really wins the game. Maybe I would play this and rook g1. But it's not without counterplay, like queen d2 and e2. Maybe just bring the rook right away. Okay, it was neither of those. Hard puzzle. I'm like almost not able to guess the move. Just trying to guess how I get some kind of shadow of counterplay down a piece. What could it possibly be? Like, the main thing is this: they haven't developed these pieces, but their king looks totally safe. Maybe this? No. I was thinking that because it's like an alternative way to get to g6. But they could always ignore it. I don't think it really threatens anything. If it's taking this pawn, I'm frustrated. That is so frustrating. Like, why is it this? I'm still a piece down, right? Am I blind? Like, I'm pretty sure I'm just down a minor piece. How is this winning for white? What is going on? Like, I know I have pawns for a piece, but is it really that major? It also looks like basically everything wins after bishop d5, but no other move. This is so counterintuitive. Like, let's say this played knight b6, like totally normal move. I'm still not really grasping this. Let's say I just move my bishop, because I don't want to lose the bishop. Maybe they'll play this move. I like can't even guess the next move that's coming. Like, it says rook g1. Okay. Apparently this is winning. Yeah, this puzzle's just nuts. I'm gonna save this for later. Oops, I did not mean to do that. I'm closing that. Alright. I don't even know what to say about this puzzle. Okay. Moving on. That one is a casualty of war. Oh, Schnangespiel, regarding your comment about the piece evaluation, I turned that off because I do that anyway. So I like my screen to be not cluttered. I think it's a really good habit to immediately know what the material balance is when you're looking at it. Probably the video rendering is what's putting my computer through some stuff. I'm not. Yeah, I think it was just the rendering for the video. Anyway, so they are threatening mate. -2 is pretty forgiving for a first puzzle. I almost always get the first puzzle wrong. Okay, so I could allow queen h2 technically. I don't think it's a simple decision like just play h3. Because if queen h2, king f1, they don't have a follow-up as far as I can see. So I'm probably fine to allow queen h2 if there's a good opportunity. I'm noticing this. Does this matter? Like, what would happen if they just took back, for example? This rook is hanging. That might be important. Yeah, by the way, over the board in a tournament, there's no piece of L, right? So if you're playing online chess as something to just tide you over and practice before your next tournament, like the way that I do, then there's not really any point in using these extra online features. I want to be as close to like a real chess as possible. I'd probably feel different if I only played online chess and preferred online chess. Actually, probably the majority of chess players in the world have not played over the board. I bet that's true. I wonder how one would take such a survey, because you'd have to find those people. I guess you could do it on lightchess.com or lightchess or something. Okay, so my resources here are these various captures and threats. Oh, here's an idea. So take, and rook d4. Maybe something like this. I'm very tempted to just give this pawn, because if I wait a move, like by playing h3, for example, I think this will reduce all the tension. I should probably take back, and then they can move the knight. And maybe knight h6 or something. Or maybe they'll even not move the knight. They'll play queen f6. Try to save their knight by tactics, threatening the queen back on b2. So the moment is nigh. Something going on here for sure. Schnoggenspiel admits to playing inebriated. Well, I don't think that's illegal. I've definitely had a drink or a few before a chess game before. It does feel kind of bad when your bishops end up on the same color, though. I'm thinking about moves like queen e4 even, but I fail to see what this really accomplishes. For instance, even if they just sack the exchange, I mean, it's not even a sack because they could take this rook, but like even that seems pretty promising. So probably we start like this. I'm just gonna, you know, throw that out there. Maybe this is how we start. They have to take back with or suffer worse pain. Oh, but then I can take on g4. So probably they won't take on h2, right? I already calculated that, so I'm kind of annoyed. So let's say I take, they take, and then I do something. No doubt something amazing and awesome. I was thinking rook d4 originally, but then there's queen h2, king f1, and they can move the knight. I think. Well, I don't see why they can't play a move like h5. Let's just say h5. Yeah, it seems like they're surviving. So we're still on this, looking for a move. Queen b2 doesn't seem like really anything. Maybe queen f3, maybe something like that. Maybe this is the move that I'm missing. Like maybe I want to hit the rook like this, and this is a useful tempo somehow. Okay, so let's say I do that, and they're not going to play queen h2 because then they lose the knight. They could play knight e5, like kind of rescuing the knight and the rook at the same time. That would be annoying. Okay, so probably queen e4 is still the most reasonable because they can't play knight e5. The queen's pinned. Okay, so maybe they'll double rooks, and we play h3. That could be it, maybe. But then there's f5, hitting the queen. Oh, but then there's queen d4 check, maybe. Alright, so we take, queen e4. Let's say they just protect the rook. Play h3 now. They play f5. Queen d4 is check. e5 is a thing, but then queen d7 is check. And we can take the knight. Okay, I'm pretty sold on this. Alright, glad that was the first move. I think this is it. Okay, nice. I mean, I think it's nice. I want to play h3. I think that move makes the most sense. Yay, I got it. Woohoo! Alright, moving on. No time for celebrating. Okay. This sort of schmecks of the opposite colored bishops. Even though I have two bishops. Anyway, better on dark square, so I'm kind of thinking about this kind of thing. Or maybe this kind of thing. Without getting too, like, attention deficit about that whole thing. Yeah, that was a pretty good puzzle. I'm glad I got that one. Quick as you like. it was nice to, not just play h3 and move on with my life. I think that's sort of like the bullet chess way to do it, but therein lie the opportunities. Anyway, I think our king's pretty safe in this example. It might just be like choosing among good options. For instance, if I choose this, they might play like queen g3. Absolutely not. I could play queen takes e2 and win everything on the board, including the queen. Okay, so maybe that's a real thing. Just gonna hone in on this. It's my first thingy that I'm thinking about. I remain skeptical. They could play bishop e4, or they could play like something that doesn't lose the game, like maybe knight g3. I think knight g3 seems pretty reasonable on the face of it. But then there's rook e3. Maybe I've just hit on something good. Menacing the knight, intending rook e3. The caveat here might be, what happens if I play rook e3 straight up? Well, the answer is probably queen d6. So let's say I just go for this without, and queen d6 then runs into queen e2. So I'm willing to be a little ambitious and just play it. Okay, so that was good so far. That's already a win for just cultivating a quick thought process. Now, what about rook e3? Queen g2, I imagine. No, I don't see anything else after queen g2. I want to take something, but it's just really not happening. Actually, no. Rook takes e2. If they play king takes, we take the queen. They have to take with the queen. This could be useful somehow. Throw this check. If they step on f2, then there's bishop h4. That seems very... Oh, it's the only move they can play. Bishop h4. They can play king g3, or they can play king e3. I'm sorry, king g3 is illegal, so they can only play king e3. Seems like kind of a long line. Like, where's the end? What's gonna happen? Okay, that's probably too complicated. We can always come back to that if necessary. So they want to play queen g2, something like that. What am I drinking? I'm only drinking tonic water right now. Honestly. But at least it's the good kind. Fever tree. Taking my malaria meds. Yeah, bishop e3 I thought about too. It might still be a good move, even though it's not threatening anything directly, but I think I can probably do better. Excuse me. Another idea is like bishop h4 straight up, but you know, this bishop's the one who's not doing something. I'd like to get it in on the light squares somehow. Like, what if I go here and then here? That's an interesting idea. But if I play bishop e8, they'll probably play queen g2. Oh, but then I can just take it. Actually, they can't play that. what am I saying? You know, if I play rook e3, queen g2, I can just take the queen, right? And I just win a piece. So actually, rook e3 is still on the docket. I just missed something on move 1. So they go here. That's that. So they probably have to go somewhere else. For instance, maybe queen f2. But that, to me, already seems like kind of a win. So let's say they go here. I don't think any other place makes sense. Otherwise, they're losing the knight. I could probably just play rook e3 right away, now that I know this. But let's say I do that. They play queen f2. If I play queen h1, queen g1, then there's rook f3. That looks fairly winning. King e1, bishop h4. Looks nice. So how about queen h1 and knight g1? This is interesting. I think it's the only thing. Yeah, Schnaggenspiel, you are missing out on the lore. Tonic water was originally developed as an anti-malaria drink in British-governed India. So that's where the name Fever Tree comes from, for the brand name Fever Tree tonic water. The bark that they use to make tonic water has inherent anti-malaria properties. Okay, so I think it's this move. I'm not actually concerned about malaria. I just think it's a fun fact. Another fun fact about tonic water is because of that active ingredient, it fluoresces in ultraviolet light. It turns like electric blue. It's pretty nice. Little known fact about tonic water. Now, what do we have here? So queen g2 after all. I can just take it. I'm pretty confident I just calculated this line. Now, I didn't fully justify this move. I just figured like rook e3 is the only move it could be. I was thinking this, and if they play queen g1, we have a winning attack. But this move, I was curious. Flip on the engine real quick. So this is equal, so I missed something here. Oh, queen h3 check. Yeah, I noticed queen h3 in other lines, so I probably would have figured it out. I'm comfortable with this. So moving on. Glad I got that. Alright, what gives with this one? Our king's under some pressure. Possibly undesirable. Like, I could technically win a pawn like this, but I think I would suffer worse pain after like king g1, queen c5, and then knight takes e6. Just losing the game. So it's got to be a little bit more interesting than that. For that reason, I'm contemplating a move like this, which would force them to abandon the g-file. But this might be inviting more punishment because queen h5 hits the knight. It also guards h2, so that meme is a dead meme. I really think it has something to do with all these hanging boys. Maybe we do this, and at some point we're going to take this rook, right? That's a kind of obvious thing that I failed to note earlier. At least out loud. So it could be this. But if I take right away, then queen takes h6, threatens mate, and that's not nice. One of the rules of chess is you're not allowed to checkmate the coach. Oh, thank you, Schnaggenspiel, for the subscription. I really appreciate that support. I'm hoping to scale up this whole chess thing and just do a lot more of it, so every time somebody subscribes, it helps out. I like knowing people are interested. Okay, so where were we about this? I don't know how I'm supposed to deal, because if I play queen f6, I might just be letting the pressure off. That's kind of how I feel. Like, let's say let's play rook b1. Do I have some kind of amazing Technicolor dream move here? I'm sorry that you're sick of the ads. I hate ads too. It's just awful. But it's the name of the game right now. Hopefully at some point I can justify turning it all off. It's funny how this is on move 13. Like, the whole game, I could show you real quick. Something where they just, like, say, you know what, I don't really want to play d4. I'd rather lose a tempo with my bishop and get a super cramped position and castle into an attack. And white is like, you know what, I'm just going to go over here and munch on some pawns. Don't mind me. Black responds by saying, I'm going to sacrifice my entire queenside with tempo. And this is a 15-15 classical game. White likes to move the same piece over and over in the opening instead of using their bishop with tempo. So black gets their comeuppance, and this is how we arrive at our position. Yeah, I think it'd be way better if we could just do away with ads in pretty much all of life. I mean, do people really have such a hard time discovering a product? Anyway, the products that they're pushing are ones that everyone already knows about. It's more like brainwashing than advertising. I definitely would like things to change. Alright, maybe there's another move that I'm missing here, something more basic. Well, anyway, it's good not to lose in one move. So knight h6 seems like a step in the right direction. Yeah, maybe this is a good question. Like, what are the moves I don't lose? Because I'm pretty sure knight e6 is a deadly threat. I don't really want to play king h8. That seems very passive. Yeah, like, how am I even going to guard against queen h5 after I play that? Certainly feels like white is in the driver's seat. Okay, so I think I have to play this. Alright, I was wrong. So what could it be? This check? No. Of course not. No. I thought about this move briefly, but like it just loses quickly. This move I thought about to like come protect h7 manually, but then there's knight e4 stuff. Blocking doesn't really make a lot of sense because I want to keep these pieces active. Yeah, everything just seems like a disaster. What am I missing here even? It's hard to find a move that doesn't suck. Like if I just take this. This should probably be the first thing I ask myself, like what happens if I just take the piece? But I thought this was the answer. I pretty much just stopped calculating here. Because their queen is in my grill, and that is not pleasant. I don't like that. Not taking the knight. Oh, that's right. It's pinned. Okay. That was a little bit deep, but definitely not outside the realm of possibility. Schnuggenspiel says that they are targeted marketing him for buying Uncle Toby's protein balls on Twitch. Well, I've never even heard of that. That's just insane to me. Okay, so this was like just take the rook. What could possibly go wrong? You have to calculate knight f7 and knight e6, but of course knight f7 you play king f7. So this is the only serious move, and the whole deal here is just that there's a pin. Okay, I missed that idea entirely. That was silly on my part. I think that was totally within the realm of solvability. This looks like some puzzle rush stuff where normally you play queen f8 here and win, but there's a rook on b8, so you don't. Not to mention a queen. So there's a lot going on here. Could be like you just pin it to win it, as they say. You play c5, c3. They take your pawn. You take their queen. You take your bishop. Sorry, your queen. You take this rook so you don't get back rank mated. They take, and then bishop takes f4. I mean, what could go wrong, right? Yes, of course, what else? Rook takes e5. Outstanding move. Just kidding. I want to take the bishop, so I'm going to play c3. If I play queen takes, then this is a big disaster. Don't play it. Same thing with rook takes, so I think this is the only move that I care about. I could take this with check. Of course, what else? Should I? I think I should. Okay, that was easy dub right there. Australian cereal company apparently is what Uncle Toby's protein balls is. That sounds very much in keeping with like Vegemite and deadly snakes and other things from Australia. I'll personally choose the snakes over the advertising. Well, white has barely any pieces out. The main thing for us is probably that their king is feeling breezy, you know. It's like an Abercrombie and Fitch commercial out here with their king. Just, you know, easy breezy, beautiful, open on the king side. A happy ending with a nudge and a wink would be something like bishop c4, king h7, queen h6. But, you know, fairy tales aren't real. Alright, I appreciate this pro tip from Schnagenspiel. Apparently Vegemite is great where you put butter down on the toast and then about a third of the amount of Vegemite. I will try that the next time I'm in the vicinity of Vegemite. I might. We're also a piece down. You know, why am I always a piece down? Anyway, usually that's a dead giveaway about what you need to do. You need to checkmate them. But these puzzles have been quite difficult where we're just playing on down a piece and just somehow much better. I might, yes, that's correct. It's just hard to do. You know, I kind of reflexively knee-jerk want to play bishop c4. So let's just see what happens. I've been trying to commit to just calculating the first thing I see. Bang, bang. So they play bishop f7 probably. I think it's very optimistic to think that they will play king h8. Even king h8 might not be a total disaster. I imagine it is. For example, like king h8, queen h6, bishop h7, b4. Yes, very good. Bishop b4, bishop b2, check. Of course, what else? Knight d4, and then we figure it out, I guess. You know, something will probably fall out of a tree. Yeah, I'm about to change my username to Punmaster. Master Punners. Pun Lord Supreme. Lord of the Puns. Well, they seem to be holding up, even with the king h8 line. Like, the b4 thing is creative, but I think they're holding with knight d4. And they don't give you extra points for creativity. Otherwise, I'd be a grandmaster. So otherwise, I'd be a grandmaster. So Hubble Truffle, welcome. Queen f6. Yes, very good observation. Very good. I like this move. So it's bishop c4, king h8. Terrible move, queen h6, bishop h7. And then queen f6, and black resigned. Actually, it's checkmate, so they can't resign. I mean, they can. It's never too late to resign. They say checkmate, you say I resign, just to own the situation. I think queen f6 is great. So that actually justifies things. So I throw this one. I'm really concerned about like bishop f7. I was mostly doing a sanity check for king h8. If king f8, then queen h6 should win routinely. I mean, they always say that until it doesn't, but you know, I think it does. I generally do. So check, bishop f7. I think we've determined that this is the only move because it doesn't make sense to block a rook just to get the same, more of the same, as they say in the American politics. Yes, Nagenspiel, you really did find a good thing there. Now we just need to figure out what to do about bishop f7. And I'm tempted, truly tempted, to just take it and then keep attacking them. For example, take and then take and then take and just check, and then if king e7, then rook e4, and if king g7, then something, you know, like there's probably something good here, like maybe bishop h6. Of course, what else? King h6, queen f6, check. Yeah, I don't know about this one. At any rate, no other move seems that clearly good, except maybe b4. But since they could always take bishop b4, I'm sorry, yeah, bishop takes b4, bishop b2, and then knight d4 or something, I'm inclined to just throw a check. Yes, of course, what else? And here, I thought about something like this, but I imagine that they are surviving, even thriving. You know, like maybe they'll just go walk this way, as they say. But there is bishop h6. Okay, this could be a serious thing where I'm like taking here, or I'm taking here, or I'm doing both of those things. I'm not sure. Oh, thank you, Nagenspiel. Sloppy Russian accent. I have a better one too. I just don't use it very much. I reserve that for tight situations with the Russians. Okay, so am I taking on f7, which is like a clear course of action, or do I have to throw something else? I've passed for Russian in some situations before, but usually when my hair is a lot shorter. So let me see if I just want to take this. I think that makes sense. I'll just do it. Oh man, that was terrible. It wasn't that either. Well, those are the only two things that really stood out to me as reasonable. I thought about this move, but I still don't see the point. Oh wait. I can just take the bishop now. Ugh, that was very sloppy on my part. Pitiful. No, here we're down every pawn possible. And we should probably steal the Declaration of Independence with a move like bishop g6. But, and there's a but, we also need access with these rooks or something. So it could be one of these, or one of these, or one of those, or some of this. You know, we could talk turkey about what we're doing here. At any rate, we're not trapping this knight, I don't think, because like rook f2, knight g4, it's like perfectly fine. So let's say I take this one, just for sake of argument, or maybe I take this one. At each step of the way, what I'm wondering is, what am I going to do when they just play king d8? Like, I kind of want to keep attacking, you know, full-scale assault, I think they call it. Alright, maybe I'll just force them to d8 and then examine the consequences. King totally trapped. Yes. I see. I can win the knight. Very good, I think. Maybe I win the knight. I was thinking like rook f2, knight g4, and then some clutch knight to b7. Something like that. But I remain unconvinced. Yeah, that light square bishop's not so great. At any rate, I can't start with a move like knight b7. Like, this is hanging. One of the things is, like, I would like to deflect the bishop and then play knight b7, but if their king's on d8 already, they can play king c8 because the bishop is gone. So I'm still kind of thinking about this very direct approach. Doesn't seem like the rooks are really getting in. So what if I do this and they just take my rook? I check. They go here. Oh, no. They go here. I guess I can check like these. And they make this one. Of course. What else? Slim pickings. Maybe what I need to do is establish a situation whereby I get a tempo. Like, I sack this piece, I check the king, they go to c8, and I play bishop f5 from either here or here. So they would have to go back to d8. And then something cool happens. Something cool, like maybe bishop e7, and king e8, and then bishop g6. So this could be a real thing. Let me see. So we do this one, and then this one, and then check. Of course, what else? King d8, knight b7, bishop b7. No, still not quite working. Samuel, welcome. So rook g7, bishop g6, knight b7, bishop f5. Well, those are a lot of moves for white in a row. I think if their rook takes g7, they're probably playing knight takes f3. We also have to keep in mind bishop c5. They could play several moves here that are all very interesting. If you could play all of those moves, I agree with you. But I think they're going to interfere. It'd be so nice if I could get them to move that bishop. Like one thing that came to my mind is something like oh, I don't know, rook g7. They try to be schmancy, throw an intermediate move. We throw this check, they go here, and then we can play bishop c7, and that's mate. So if, I'm actually not concerned about bishop c5. We have to keep it in mind, but I think that in this kind of variation, it wins to just throw the throw all of the bathroom accommodations at them, something like that. Cut off the 7th rank with the rook. I don't know. Rook g7, knight f3, bishop g6, king d8, knight b7, bishop b7, rook b7. Yeah, let's look at something like that, because I think that Schnagenspiel on Twitch and Samuel Hookman on YouTube are in a similar situation where you're both thinking about this. We do this check, they go here, of course, what else? Knight b7, they take, we take back, and then we're just playing chess. My qualm and my quarrel here is I don't see how we can finish this mating net. Basically, like, our rook is here. Sorry, our rook is here on b7. We've already taken this pawn. This knight is gone. This bishop is gone. Their king's on d8. Like, what does a checkmate look like in this situation? Oh, our bishop is also here. That's worth mentioning. I guess we would want to play something like bishop f5 and bishop e7, but it's their move, so they could play whatever they want. In fact, if we play bishop f5 and bishop e7, they could still play... Well, this rook is hanging, too. Like, it's not truly there. Rook g7, knight f3, bishop g6, king d8, knight a5. I don't think we have knight e5. I think you mean knight a4, but the bishop's not really hanging. This is sort of like the right way of thinking, but we need something more convincing. Maybe something with knight e6 on the way, because knight e6 is almost mate. Maybe something like we do... There's probably something much simpler that we're just missing. Like, it would be nice to just checkmate them like this, but it's not materializing, as far as I can see. Like, even if we throw this check in the middle, that's something we haven't really talked about. Well, it makes more sense to include the bishop anyway, so this is probably why we haven't talked about it. I was looking at this check. Let me go here. We can take this with check. Okay, this is actually encouraging somewhat, potentially. Because if they play king b8, then bishop e5 is... Oh no, the knight guards e5. Alright, that's really nothing. I was thinking maybe we could checkmate with bishop e5. So far, nothing looks really appealing, honestly. They don't even have to take this rook. Like, they could play something else. Maybe we still take this. I guess they go here. I don't know, I'm struggling here. Like, what could be simple that we could do? Coming back to this. You know, let's just say this is our starting point. Let's just pretend. Maybe we just like threaten them with a discover attack and see if they can handle it. Just something very basic. This is probably more promising than anything so far. Yeah, beats me, seriously. Samuel is suggesting that the bishop would be hanging because it's the only thing defending checkmate, and when it moves you get mated, but they don't have to move. Trapping the knight on h2, yeah, maybe we could focus on that a little bit more. My trouble with trapping the knight, which did occur to me, is that after a move like rook f2, which, you know, saves the rook, attacks the knight, logical move, knight g4. You know, maybe we need to take this deeper. Maybe we should think about just taking it. You know, like, who cares? Let's just pretend, you know? Like, who even really cares? So they take back. We throw this check. They go here. We take this. They go here. They could also play king d7, so I'm not convinced about this last move. I also thought about, you know, rook f2, knight g4, bishop g6, king d8, knight takes b7, bishop takes b7, rook takes g4. But the problem is that this rook is hanging on f2. Is there a mate where like I can do this or something? It's very hard all of a sudden. Rook f g3. Okay, so let's say we just do this, right? Saying like you're trapped, neener neener. First of all, we're down a lot of pawns. So even if they sack the knight sack two minor pieces for a rook, they're probably winning just by pushing the h pawn. So I'm a little bit concerned. Additionally, that sacrifice would help them finish their development, which is their only real problem. Like if they can get rid of this bishop, they can probably start using the rook. So strategically, I find it a little bit dubious. But also, what if they just play like h5? You know, saying I want to put my knight right here. All right, maybe we need to be more creative. Like bishop e7. That looks interesting because now I'm threatening bishop g6 winning the game. They probably have to take this. Check. Go here. Take this with check. They have to go here. I see a forced draw. There's that. Like take, bishop e7, threatening bishop g6 mate. I think they can only respond to that. Actually, they have knight h4, which stops bishop g6, so that whole idea doesn't work. It's not forced. Snoggispiel, good luck with your work meeting. Glad you're able to stay for a little bit. This is hard. I don't know. Big time challenge. Snoggispiel is going to be late for his work meeting, I think. Because it's 17 past the hour here. So he's probably 17 minutes late for a meeting. Whoops. It's probably going to jump out and be like easy once we see it. So right now I think it should start with this. And I was thinking this to me seems like the most not losing thing that I've looked at. Now, my reasoning for this not being winning necessarily is that they could just take this, and then move their king. Like, go here. And I was thinking, you know, like I could play bishop d6 again, king to b6. Hard to really just say I'm totally winning here. Like c5, king a7. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe there's something there. But anyway, like the rook's hanging. I don't know what to do about that. Maybe rook f2 here. But again, we got problems. So I'm just gonna play rook d3. I think that's it. Okay, luckily that was it. e4, if that's necessary, that's a nice thing. Very nice. Now the bishop's hitting the knight. We just have to not lose. Easy, right? Just don't lose. People have not lost before. We're almost checkmating them. This is nice. I kind of want to just take this so I don't have to deal with it. I could also like move my rook like here. So what's the strongest idea in this position? Contemplating just taking this, which lets loose the grip on the king side and the king. Thinking about this. I really don't want to let them get away, but their knight is hanging, so maybe it doesn't matter. Like, let's say we just take on e4 and they rescue the knight. Logical move. Maybe now I take, and then take here. Well, since I don't have an immediate threat, like let's say I play this and they just do something, you know, like just go here. Like, maybe I'm going here? They go here. I take this, they go here. Even though they could play rook d8. I think I should probably settle on taking the pawn. Luckily, that was correct. Fantastic. Just had to eliminate like literally every move to find it. A lot of these puzzles I have to just eliminate everything. It's not even like the last move speaks to me so much. It's just like don't play those other moves. Probably gonna make this my last one for now. Not a bad run though so far. Like small run, but you gotta make small progress every day. Small wins. Kind of tempting to just take, and then play bishop c2. But of course, it's not forced. I think after, well actually they could take with the queen, but then they lose this piece. We're not even a piece down in this position, so maybe that's just it. Like, take, and oh, there's probably back rank memes. This is probably what it's about. They go rook c1. They can't play queen c2 because the queen guards the back rank. But they can play rook c1. So if I go here, they play rook c1. That's a problem. And these rooks are already gone. Maybe I just straight up play bishop c2 actually, because if they try the rook c1 memes, I can just take with check on d1. Actually, I could just take it. And if they take, and I take, or actually maybe I'll take with the rook. And in this case, if their rook is hanging from the queen, their queen is hanging from the bishop, and their bishop's hanging from the queen. So I go here, they take, and then if they take here, I take the rook with check, and then I'll come back and not lose. I think that's it. Alright, that was it. That was actually pretty quick, so I'll do one more. One more puzzle. We're a piece down, as usual, but their king does look pretty silly. One thing that springs to mind is I just take this and then play queen f3, winning the rook. But is it good enough? I dare say it must be, except for the fact that I could change the move order. Just throw this one in here. And then if they take, everything's check. At the end, I take the rook. Yeah, something like this. I take, take. Just take everything. And they'll have to move bishop a6 maybe, but I'll take the rook. Yeah, everything just looks smashing, really. So I go here. I'm taking the rook for free. That's a big difference here. So I think I should play that. Take with check, of course, what else? Alright, that was actually quick too, so one more. The third last one. Before I run away. Alright, so we've got pawn problems. I've got 3, you've got 3. They're passed. This one's passed. So do I really just play d4? I'm doing wrong arrows, so I'm just going to keep doing it. Just lots of wrong arrows. Alright, anyway. So if I play d4, they're probably playing h5, d5, h4, d6, h3, d7, h2. We make a queen. They make a queen. And I don't know if I even want to trade queens here. For instance, queen d6. Of course, what else? King g4. Queen e6. King h5. Queen f7. King anywhere. Like king h4. Queen f2. King g4. I don't know. Doesn't seem like I'm obviously forcing the queens off. Even if I did, it might create a problem where like they are winning, they're getting another queen in 1, 2, 3, 4 moves, and I have to sack a pawn. So it takes me at least 5 moves, and they still have a queen. It looks messy. So the situation I'm envisioning here is one where I do this, take, go here, 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 there, here, and I get a queen. But they have a queen too. I don't prefer it. So maybe it's like I'm doing this. They take it. Now I need to be able to get into this square. Whenever. I'm already in it. So I go here, here, a5, b3, king d3. Important to stop b2. Now they will probably start their pawn things. The thing is, if I push this h pawn, now I'm promoting first. I have 1, 2, 3 moves to go. I'm first, and I control the promotion square with my new queen. So that's nice. So they would probably have to waste a move, playing something like, I don't know, king f2, right? Then I'll play a6, g4, a7, g3, a queen, g2, and then I can try to checkmate them. I think that's good enough. So I'm doing this, and this, and this, and that, and this, and yeah, I think I just keep going. We've all seen this movie. Now queen b8 looks good, but it is asking me for a reason to play a move, so I'm wondering if there's a trap here, because sometimes I get excited, you know, I play a lot of moves and then I'm just like, I feel like I'm playing a chess game. I do something silly. So I think queen b8's the only move. So let's say I play queen b8. I think they would go here to try to keep their promotion chances alive. If they block the pawn, I am a happy clam. So they'll probably go here. I don't think it makes sense for them to like back it up, because I could play, for example, queen b6, and I'm stopping the promotion. They'll have to come back to even threaten me, and this is just an improvement. I can just keep attacking their king. So I think they have to go here, but then I can pin the pawn. Small improvement, and I can just keep doing this. Like they go here, I give a check. They go here, I pin it. You know, I'm just gonna get rid of these arrows, right? I pin it. They go to h2. I do this. They go to h1. I pin it. They go to h2. I do this. They go to h1. I pin it, they go to h2. I check, they go to h1, I pin it, they go to h2, and then, and only then. Oh, actually, when I play queen f4, I could play queen takes h6 with check. That's an important detail. So I could snag that one, come back, sack for this pawn on g2, and then take on b2, and then play d4. And that should win the game. So I think that's it. I think that's the sequence. I'm looking for another one, just for sake of argument. I think I really want to pick off this pawn before I start anything else. And that's the answer. That one was also pretty quick. I feel inclined to do one more. I can't finish this after getting a puzzle right and being over 2600. At the same time, I might have to go. Jeez. Yeah, I think I probably have to run. Alrighty. Well, I think I'll stop right here. But thanks for watching, you guys, and I look forward to seeing you guys in another stream. I've been doing a lot of puzzles recently, but this is all sort of just me ideating and practicing as I prepare new lesson content, which will be uploaded and possibly even animated at some point. So you guys can look forward to that kind of instructional content coming up. It's in the pipeline, I promise. All right, till next time, good luck with your chess, and I'll see you guys around. Thanks for tuning in. Good games. Thank you.